Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum to all my dear students. This is your lecture number 21 of week 8 from chapter support and locomotion. This topic will be followed from page number 53 to 55. The contents are review of previous lesson, objectives, bone fracture, bone repair, first aid treatment for disorders of skeleton, recap, and next topic. First of all, I will give you the review of previous lesson, that is joints, types of joints, injuries to joints, and dislocation of joints. After completing this lesson, you will be able to discuss bone fracture and types of common fracture, explain bone fracture and its healing process, and enlist first aid treatment for disorders of skeleton. Bone fracture. Bone fracture, students, basically a medical term for broken bone because of the result of high force impact or stress on the bone. So as a result, that bones break when they can't understand a force or trauma applied them. Sometimes the bone may be broken into one or two pieces, or sometimes it will be broken into several pieces as well. So students, there are two common types of fractures. As you see in the diagram, simple fracture and compound fracture. Simple fracture is also called a closed fracture, and compound fracture is also called a open fracture. So students, as you see in the diagram, simple fracture or closed fracture is a type of fracture in which the surrounding tissues are not damaged by the bone, right? Or it's a fracture of the bone only without damage to the surrounding tissues or breaking of the skin. And if the bone ends penetrate the skin and damage the surrounding tissues as well, that type of fracture is called compound fracture or open fracture. And in severe cases, sometimes a fracture damage the adjacent organs as well. Then this type of fracture, it's now called as plicated fractures. Bone repair. Now students, as we all know that bone is a living tissue, that's mean it can also be repair itself. So the healing of a simple bone fracture follow a series of progressive steps. Basically, they follow a 4 basic steps for repair itself. Number 1, hematoma, or it's also called clot formation. Step number 2, fibrocartilaginous callus formation or callus ossification. Step number 3, bony callus formation. And then step number 4, and this is the last step, bone remodeling. Okay student, step number 1, hematoma or clot formation. Basically, hematoma is a step in which a mass of clotted blood forms at the fracture site. This is the first stage or first step that will begin immediately after the simple fracture. That's mean when the bone break, blood supply in the bone and in the surrounding tissues are torn and hemorrhage. And students, as you see in the diagram, when the blood vessels broke down, the cell deprived of nutrition die, and as a result, the affected area becomes swollen, painful, and inflamed. So as a result, the clot formation starts and form a temporary frame for subsequent healing. Step number 2, fibrocartilaginous callus formation. Basically, in this step, the osteoblast secretes a porous mass of bone and cartilage that are called callus. That's why this stage is called fibrocartilaginous callus formation. This cartilaginous callus is also called a soft callus as well. And students, as you see in the diagram, again the blood vessels or capillaries grow into that affected area, and with the addition of growing the capillaries, the phagocytotic cell are also secrete here that usually invade the area and begin to clean up the debris as well. And after clean up the debris, the periosteum stimulates the production and release of numerous osteoblast cells. And these osteoblast cells formed a cartilaginous callus formation around the broken part of the bone. So as a result, this callus replaces the blood clot and hold the bones together. This process requires now the step number 3, bony callus formation. It is also called callus ossification. Callus means a porous mass, ossification means a bone cells. So that's mean in this step the soft callus replaced by a bony callus. And as we discussed in the previous slide how soft callus are formed. So in the step number 3, just after the 2 months later, this soft callus will be replaced by a bony callus. So periosteum again secrete two cells, number 1 osteoclast and number 2 osteoblast. What is the function of osteoclast? It is usually break down the cartilage. And what is the function of osteoblast? It is basically the formation of the bone cell. So that's why the soft callus will be replaced by a bony callus. So within a weeks, the soft callus formation is gradually converted into a hard bony callus of spongy bone. Okay student, step number 4, bone remodeling. Bone remodeling means the reshaping of the bone. Basically in this step, the osteoclast remove the excess or extended compact bone that is cross the fracture line to connect the bone. So osteoclast remove that extended area, and the final result of the repair of bone shape is very much little as compared to the original bone shape. So this process also controls the reshaping or replacement of the bone by a following injuries, but also micro damages as well, which occur during a normal activity. So the final structure of the remodeled area resembled to that of the original unbroken bony region. So it's a lifelong process where mature bone tissue is removed from the skeleton and a new bone tissue is formed. In addition with these, remember one thing students, in the first year of life almost 100% of the skeleton is replaced, but in adult remodeling proceed at about 10% per year. So students, the main purpose of the bone remodeling is to regulate calcium homeostasis, repair micro damage to the bone from everyday stress, and to reshape the skeleton during growth. So students, these are the 4 major steps of the bone repair, and it's very important for paper point of view as well. Now the first aid treatment for disorders of skeleton or fractured bone. We all know that when we follow the proper first aid, it will increase the chances of complete recovery. If you suspect someone has dislocated a joint or fractured bone, you can help by the following steps. Number 1, don't pull or realign the injured joint or bone of a victim by yourself. Leave this task for the professional one. Number 2. Apply ice pack over an infected area to reduce the swelling. Number 3. Assist the victim to possible of her comfort or position of comfort zone. Number 4. Provide support to the affected area such as using slings or splints. And the last, in severe cases, call ambulance to transport the victim. So students, these are the possible first aid treatment for disorders of skeleton. Today we have covered these topics: bone fractures, bone repair, and first aid treatment for disorders of skeleton. In our next lecture, we will be doing muscles, types of muscles, and comparison of three types of muscle tissues. This is all for today. Thank you.